Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on Vedic astrology. Today I have a special guest, Mr. Manikandan. He is having an engineering background and he is one of the students who took the fundamental Vedic astrology course on Udemy. So today he is going to present one of the automation he did for easily making the predictions. So to give a little bit background about Mani, Mani is not only my student, he is also a good friend of me. We have very lot of special relationship. He is also my college mate, and we also work together for quite some time. So without any further delay, I will hand over to Mani to present his one of his idea. Mani, you can take it from here. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, thanks, Muthu. So, hi everyone. So, as Muthu said, I was a student of Muthu's Vedic astrology class, and I was documenting all the lessons that he taught us and in an Excel. So, I like Excel and VBA, so I intended to mimic all the rules that he taught in the class in the VBA format. And the result is what you see as the tool that I will be presenting. So without wasting much time, let's go to the tool. Muthu, you have to share you have to give me a permission. So you're able to see my screen?
Yes, I'm able to see.
Yeah. So this is the tool that I'm talking about. So what we have to do is I'll give you a brief introduction of this tool. So this tool is a collection of all the rules that we have learned in the class. So it doesn't give directly the predictions of the horoscope, but it will try to give you all the content that is required for you to successfully do the prediction. So I will show you how to use the tool. For using the tool, the user has to enter a few details before the tool starts collecting all the content for the horoscope prediction. The cells that are mentioned in gray has to be filled by the user. So, for example, in this case, we have taken the example of Bill Gates. So the name has to be entered as Bill Gates, and his date of birth has to be entered in that cell, and the time of birth and the place of birth. So by entering all these things, so you have created a unique sheet that will be created with these details. And the user also has to enter the degrees and the minute values of all the planets at the time of his birth. So for getting these details, you should be aware of the planet ephemeris section of the Innovative Astro Solutions webpage. So there you can go and enter the date and the time of birth and the place of birth, and hit the calculate button. So the tool will automatically give you the details of the planet ephemeris. So as you can see, the details, what is entered here is in degrees, minutes and seconds. So for this tool, we are only concerned about the degrees and the minutes. So I have taken all these degrees and minutes for the corresponding planets, and I have entered it in the tool as shown here. So once these gray cells have been filled, so all we have to do now is to press, there is a button called press. You have to press that button. The tool then will calculate all the content required for prediction and kind of displays it in the cells below. It also updates the horoscope chart as shown here. So to give details of the horoscope chart, we have the green cells, which are the Kendra houses, and the yellow cells are the Trikona houses, and the red cells are the Dusthana houses. And the ascendant is mentioned as AC, and all the various planets are positioned in the different houses based on the degrees and the minutes values that you have entered here. So the tool also calculates whether there is a mutual exchange happening between planets, and also it detects whether few planets are pretty close to each other. So in this instance, you can see that Venus and Saturn is pretty close to each other, meaning that the degree of Venus is 206 degrees, and the Venus degree of Saturn is 208 degrees. So for a conjunction to occur, we take a plus or minus 5 degrees of any planet is considered as a conjunction. Then the bhavas or the houses in which the planet is placed is calculated. The rasis for each bhava is also determined, and the tool also determines whether the particular planet is residing in a debilitation house or neutral house, or in an enemy house, or in its own house with exaltation, or a friendly house. So the tool automatically determines that, and it also determines whether the particular planet is a malefic or a benefic or a neutral planet for that particular ascendant. As you have studied in the class, each planet has its own aspections. So the tool automatically determines the aspected houses of each planet. There is a mention of Chandra Lagna also here. So as we studied in the class, Chandra Lagna is also considered as one of the ways to predict the horoscope. So the Chandra Lagna is determined from the position of the moon. So the bhavas of each planet with the moon as the starting point is shown here, and with that as the ascendant, the planet's malefic, benefic, and the neutral nature is also calculated by the tool and depicted here. The color coding is given to give more details on whether it is a positive, negative, or a neutral aspect for the prediction.
Yeah, Mani, 1 minute. Can you explain about this aspection? Because how to read the aspection? It is showing 7, 10, 11. What is that actually? How to see that aspection?
So this basically you don't have to worry too much on the table here shown here. This is only for display purpose. The aspection is already detailedly described in the description section. But for knowledge purpose, I am sharing one particular planet's aspection. So for example, Mars. So Mars has 3 aspections. So the fourth, Mars has the 3 aspections, which is the 4th, the 7th, and the 8th. So as shown here, the 4th aspect of Mars is at the 7th house. The 7th aspect of Mars is in the 10th house, and the 8th aspect of the Mars is in the 11th house. So we can see that easily in the horoscope chart. So consider, we have to see where Mars is there in the horoscope chart. So Mars is there in the 4th house. So for Mars, there are 3 aspections as mentioned before. So Mars, the 4th aspection falls on the 7th house. The 7th aspection falls on the 10th house, and the 8th aspection falls on the 11th house. So that is what is shown here.
Right. Yeah.
So this the same way is being followed for all the other planets, because the other planets, each one has its own aspection places. Is that clear?
Yeah, I think it's clear. You can go ahead.
Yeah. So then going forward, so we will see what is there shown in the below description section. So we have two sections here. which is the Lagna Bhava strength and the Chandra Lagna Bhava strength. So for prediction of a particular horoscope, we have to study the individual bhavas or the houses, and we have to study what is the position of the house lord, the bhava lord, and the what are all the planets that are co-joined with the bhava lord, and the bhava lords aspecting planets. Which are all planets which are aspecting the bhava lord. We also have to study the bhava itself. So what are all the planets that are occupying the particular bhava, and the planets that are aspecting that particular bhava. So in this case, for example, here we have the first bhava as Mercury. So in the so as in the shown in the table, Mercury is you can see Mercury is a neutral planet which is in the 4th house, and which is in its own exaltation house. So you can see the same thing reflected in the horoscope chart. We have the Mercury, which is the ascendant, that is number 1 house, Bhava Lord, that is Lord of Gemini, is Mercury. It is in the 4th house, and the 4th house, Virgo, is the Mercury's own exaltation house, and for that particular Bhava, Gemini, that particular house or the Mercury is a neutral planet. So that is what is shown here. So the first Bhava Lord, Mercury, is a neutral planet, is placed in the 4th house, which is in its own exaltation house. Then we have to see what are all the other planets that are joined with Mercury. So in this case, we see that Mercury is together with Mars. So here you can see Mercury is with Mars in the 4th house, and Mars, as you can see here, is the malefic planet, and the 4th house is an enemy house for Mars. So that is also captured here. So the first Bhava Lord, Mercury, together with Mars, which is the malefic planet in the 4th house, which is an enemy house for it. And then we have the third aspect, which is the Bhava Lord aspecting planets, the planets which are aspecting the Bhava Lord Mercury. So in this case, we can see that there is only one planet which is aspecting the Bhava Lord, which is the Moon, and it is aspecting the Bhava Lord as its 7th aspect. So you can see the Mercury is in house 4, and it is aspected by the Moon in 10th house, and the Moon is aspecting Mercury as its 7th aspect. You can see that the Bhava occupying planets in this case is empty, and Bhava aspecting planets is also empty. So as you see that there are no planets which are placed in the house of the first Bhava, and there are no planets which are aspecting the first Bhava also. So that is the reason the two are empty. So for example, we can see that the second Bhava aspecting planets are Saturn. So Saturn, the second Bhava is aspected by Saturn, which is a benefic planet, as its 10th aspect. So you can see Saturn is here in the 5th house, and it is aspecting the second Bhava as its 10th aspect. So that is how a particular Bhava's aspect is reported here. The same way, you can you have all the details of each individual Bhava, its Bhava Lord, its Bhava Lord conjoined planets, the details of the planets aspecting the Bhava Lord, and the planets occupying that particular Bhava, and the planets aspecting that particular Bhava. So by this way, you have all the details that is required to calculate the strength of that particular bhava. The same is repeated or done for the Chandra Lagna bhava strength also. So in this case, the position of the moon is considered to be the first house, and the lord of this first house here is Jupiter, and which is a neutral planet for that particular bhava, and is placed in the sixth house, which is a friendly house. So for this, you have to see where the moon is placed in the horoscope. So here we can see moon is placed in the 10th house. As you know, the lord of 10th house is Jupiter, and Jupiter is placed in the third house. So from the moon's point of view, the Jupiter is placed in sixth house. So this consider the position of moon being considered the first house in Chandra Bhava. The Leo becomes the sixth house, and this is what is captured by the tool here. So first Chandra Bhava Lord Jupiter, which is a neutral planet, is placed in the sixth house, which is a friendly house for you. And the same is repeated for all the Chandra Bhavas also. So the tool helps you to get all the contents that is required for predicting the particular bhava, and the later you can take these contents and use it in your own prediction. Once you are happy with the details that is that is produced by the tool, you can save the analysis of the tool by pressing the save button. So what it does is the tool creates an Excel sheet with the name of the particular subject as the Excel sheet name. So you can see now the Excel sheet Bill Gates has been created, and all the details of what we have in the temp file is being stored in the Excel sheet. Now if you want to recreate or make some changes to that particular sheet, all you have to go is, there is a pull down menu here where you can go and select the Bill Gates option and then press load. So what it does is, it goes into the Bill Gates sheet and then copies all the content here, and then you can now make changes and do the calculation here in the temp sheet. So hope you all make use of this tool and get the content of the for your predictions correctly, and happy predictions. Thank you, Muthu.
Okay, buddy. Sure, thank you. So I think the overall outline is, there is a temporary sheet, like which is a temp sheet, which have the template, right? It is a template, right?
It's a template, yes. Template. It's a starting point. Yeah.
Starting point. So basically, in the template, you have to provide the birth details, and you have to copy the degree and minutes of the planets from the learning portal where you ephemeris, where you have taken the ephemeris. And after that, once you click the press button, you will get all the relevant details that are required for predictions, like what is the Bhava Lord, what are the planets conjoined with planet Bhava Lord, what are the planets aspecting Bhava, and what are the planets occupying Bhava and aspecting Bhava. So this he have done for all the Bhavas, and the same thing he have repeated for Chandra Lagna also, like referencing Chandra as the ascendant. So this sheet will give a kind of a complete overview of the planetary strength and weakness, the overall strength and weakness that are required to analyze a horoscope. So this is a very good job done by Mani. So he spent a lot of time working on this. So he also wanted to improve this in future, if I understand correctly. Mani, is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So this is again a work in progress. So we'd like to hear from you all suggestions for improvement, And I also was a work in progress I want to show you. There is a section called Yogams, where I have captured the different Yogams for that particular subject based on the planetary positions. And this is again a work in progress, and try to capture as much yogas as possible, and keep on adding to the list of yogas that can be captured. So with your suggestions, I think this tool will be very helpful for beginners who want to get into astrology. This will be a very helpful tool.
Okay, great.
Let me know your suggestions.
So Mani will share this Excel sheet in a common location. That link will be available in the description of this video. So where you can go and download and play around with it. And if you have any further suggestion, or if you want to collaborate with Mani to work on this, you can always get in touch. So I'll be giving the contact of Mani as well as my email ID. Okay. Yeah. Great, Mani. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
And
Thanks.
Thanks for sharing this. Okay.